Hello, did you know that your liver has the power to turn the extra carbs and sugars you eat directly into fat? That's right. Even if your diet is low in fat, eating too much bread, pasta, rice, sweets, and even fruit juice can trigger your liver to start producing fat non-stop. And most people don't even realize this might be the real reason their liver is overloaded with fat. This buildup, along with the chronic inflammation that comes with it, is one of the biggest hidden obstacles to your health and weight loss. And that's exactly what we're going to tackle today, by focusing on foods that do the opposite. These foods help shut down fat production and fire up your body's fat-burning engine. In this video, I'll walk you through the 12 healthiest foods with virtually no carbs and no sugar. Foods that will nourish your cells, calm inflammation, make fat loss easier, and even help clear the fat out of your liver. And stick around until the end, because food number 1 is one that many people are still afraid to eat due to outdated information. But in reality, it's a true superfood. You're going to be surprised. But before we dive in, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our health tips, and turn on the notification bell. And don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it with your friends and family so they can benefit too. Sharing means helping more people, so spread the word. Also, tell me in the comments, which of these foods are already part of your daily meals? And where in the world are you watching from? I'd love to know. All right, let's get started. Before we jump into the list, it's important to clear up one thing. When we talk about no-carb foods, we mainly mean foods without starches and sugars. The goal is to focus on foods that don't spike your blood sugar and insulin. Keeping those hormones steady is what unlocks your body's ability to burn fat for fuel, a key step for weight loss and for reducing chronic inflammation. So let's begin with number 12 on our list, avocado. This fruit is truly the king of healthy fats. It's packed with monounsaturated fats that fuel your cells with energy. Avocados also have more potassium than bananas, along with magnesium, and a special compound called avocatin B, which helps balance hormones and improve insulin sensitivity. And here's some breaking news. A brand new study published in February 2025 showed for the very first time that eating one avocado a day can significantly improve sleep quality. That's right, it was the largest study ever done on avocados, and the results were incredible. Why does this matter? Because the American Heart Association now recognizes sleep as one of the 8 essential pillars of heart health. Better sleep means better protection for your heart. So how does avocado help with sleep? It's rich in key nutrients like magnesium, which relaxes your muscles, as well as folate and tryptophan, both of which your body uses to make melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. On top of that, the study confirmed what we already knew. Avocados also help lower LDL cholesterol, thanks to their fiber and monounsaturated fats. And if you combine avocado with extra virgin olive oil, it's even more powerful. Olive oil is loaded with anti-inflammatory compounds, including oleocanthal, which works in a way that's very similar to anti-inflammatory medications, helping to ease pain, swelling, and joint inflammation. You can enjoy avocado in salads, smoothies, and always drizzle your meals with high-quality extra virgin olive oil after cooking whenever you can. But here's the thing, none of this will truly work if you're overlooking one of the most powerful and affordable sources of omega-3. And the crazy part? Most people throw away the most valuable part without even realizing it. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. 11th food, canned sardines. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated budget-friendly superfoods out there. Canned sardines. A lot of people turn up their noses at them, but let me show you why they're one of the best foods you could ever add to your diet. The first question I always hear is, what about the oil in the can? Should I throw it away? Isn't it unhealthy? And my answer is, myth. In fact, it's the opposite. Research shows that some of the sardines' most valuable nutrients, especially omega-3s like EPA and DHA, which your heart and brain love, actually migrate into the oil while it's stored. So, tossing out the oil is like pouring nutrition right down the drain. Another concern people have is heavy metals. But don't worry, sardines are strictly regulated, and tests consistently confirm that both the fish and the oil are completely safe to eat. Sardines are a true nutrient powerhouse. Besides being loaded with anti-inflammatory omega-3s, they're also a fantastic source of calcium. Because the bones soften during cooking, just 2 ounces, about 60 grams of sardines, can give you as much calcium as a full glass of milk. On top of that, they're packed with protein to keep you satisfied and vitamin B12 to fuel your energy. So, how do you make the most of them? Next time you're whipping up a casserole, a pâté, or even an omelette, swap out the soybean oil and use the sardine oil from the can instead. It adds flavor and boosts your meal with omega-3s. And if you can find sardines packed in extra virgin olive oil, that's even better. If sardines are a nutrient bomb for fighting inflammation, our next food works in a completely different way. Think of it as a general for your immune system, rallying your defenses to fight off invaders. And the latest science on its power against serious diseases is groundbreaking. That brings us to 10th food, mushrooms. Did you know mushrooms are technically fungi, not vegetables? Luckily for us, we cook them like veggies, and they're full of nutrients. Add that amazing savory umami flavor to meals, and do all of this with practically no calories or carbs. But the benefits go way beyond taste. In late 2024, researchers at City of Hope, one of the leading cancer research centers in the US, published an incredible study on the common white button mushroom. The findings? Eating white mushrooms may significantly slow down or even help prevent the progression of prostate cancer. What's even more fascinating is how they work. Mushrooms reduce a certain type of bad immune cell that weakens our defenses. With fewer of these bad cells, the good immune soldiers are free to attack and destroy harmful cells. It's a perfect example of food acting like medicine. The scientists behind the study gave an important reminder. The research is ongoing, and no one should start taking mushroom supplements without medical guidance. But they also concluded that it certainly wouldn't hurt for people to add more fresh white mushrooms to their daily meals. So here's a practical tip. Sauté white mushrooms with garlic and olive oil for a simple side dish that not only tastes great, but also protects your health, especially for men. And while protecting your cells is crucial, building and repairing your body is just as important. For that, we need a protein source that's been unfairly blamed for decades because of cholesterol myths that modern science has already debunked. I'm sure you can guess what's next. 9th food, eggs. For many nutrition experts, eggs are pure gold. They're one of the most affordable, versatile, and complete sources of protein you can find. But for decades, eggs carried a bad reputation they didn't deserve. The question most people ask is, if I have high cholesterol, can I eat eggs? And the answer is yes. Modern science, even top cardiologists at places like Cedars-Sinai in the US, confirms that the cholesterol in eggs is not the main driver of LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol in your blood. The real culprits are diets high in saturated fat and refined carbs. Eggs, on the other hand, are low in saturated fat. So the problem was never the egg itself. What makes eggs so special is that they're a complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to build muscle and repair tissues. And don't forget about choline, an essential nutrient for brain health, memory, and liver function, most of which is found in the yolk. That's why you should eat the whole egg. Here's the most important advice. The issue isn't the egg, it's what you cook it with. Eating eggs fried in soybean oil with bacon, sausage, and bread. That's the real health bomb. The right way? Boiled, poached, or scrambled with just a drizzle of olive oil. Pair them with avocado, tomatoes, and leafy greens, and you've got a meal that protects your heart. Now that you know how to enjoy the perfect protein, it's time to combine it with the GPS of nutrients, the vitamin that acts like traffic control, moving calcium out of your arteries and putting it where it belongs, into your bones. And that's our next food. Eighth food. Kale. Kale is like the Swiss Army knife of vegetables. It's a nutritional powerhouse, and modern science is showing us exactly why. For your bones, kale is one of the richest sources of vitamin K on the planet. Just 1 cup of cooked kale provides over 400% of your daily needs. Vitamin K is key for directing calcium into your bones, and low intake has been linked to a higher risk of fractures. For your vision, kale is packed with lutein, an antioxidant that concentrates in your retina. It helps filter harmful light and protects against macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss as we age. For your heart and immune defenses, kale contains a powerful compound called sulforaphane. Research suggests it supports cardiovascular health and may even have potential in slowing the growth of certain cancer cells. Now, when I say kale strengthens bones thanks to vitamin K, there's a fascinating twist to this story. Did you know there are actually 2 main types of vitamin K, K1 and K2? Think of them as a dynamic duo working together. Vitamin K1, also called phylloquinone, is the form found in plants, and kale is one of the richest sources. Its main role is in the liver, where it helps your blood clot properly when you get a cut. Vitamin K2, on the other hand, is the true star when it comes to bone and heart health. Produced mainly by bacteria, its best dietary sources are fermented foods like natto, a traditional Japanese fermented soybean dish, and certain cheeses. So here's the magic. Your body can actually convert some of the K1 from kale into a form of K2, specifically MK4. And what does K2 do? It acts like a GPS for calcium. K2 activates a protein called osteocalcin, which takes calcium from your bloodstream and locks it into your bone matrix, making your bones denser and stronger. Without enough K2, calcium may end up in the wrong place, like your arteries. That means by eating kale, you're giving your body the raw material K1, not only for healthy blood clotting, but also for producing K2 to strengthen bones and keep arteries clear. It's a perfectly designed system. 2 quick cautions about kale, especially when eaten raw. First, if you're on blood thinners, if you take a medication like warfarin, check with your doctor before drastically increasing your kale intake, since its high vitamin K content can affect how the drug works. Second, for thyroid health, in people with certain predispositions, eating large amounts of raw kale can interfere with thyroid function. The good news is that cooking, sautéing, or even lightly steaming kale greatly reduces this effect. The best way to enjoy it? Sautéed with garlic and olive oil. It's delicious, safe, and takes care of the thyroid concern. You can also add kale to soups, stews, or bake them into crunchy kale chips for a healthy snack. If kale is the GPS for minerals, our next food is the building block for the body. It's the most bioavailable source of iron and protein, essential for fighting fatigue and building strong muscles. But quality is everything here. Let's talk about 7th food, red meat. Red meat is a powerhouse of nutrients. If you want to build muscle, boost energy, and feel strong, high-quality meat, especially from grass-fed animals, is a fantastic option. Think beef, lamb, and even organ meats like liver. They're loaded with high-quality protein, which your body needs to repair and build muscle. Red meats are also the best source of heme-iron, which fights anemia and fatigue, and vitamin B12, which is essential for energy and brain health. But again, quality matters. Choose grass-fed whenever possible. Grass-fed beef has a healthier fat profile, with more anti-inflammatory omega-3s and less pro-inflammatory omega-6s compared to grain-fed meat. A hearty meal like this calls for a smart companion food, especially when those sugar cravings hit. And our next pick is the perfect snack, crunchy, delicious, and powerful at shutting down sugar cravings. Let's talk about sixth food, pecans. If you need a crunchy and satisfying snack, pecans are one of the best options. They have an extremely low amount of net carbs and are packed with soluble fiber, which helps control blood sugar levels. They're also a fantastic source of monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil, that promote satiety and cardiovascular health. On top of that, pecans are rich in zinc, copper, and vitamin B1. A small handful after a meal can help curb sugar cravings. You can also chop them up and mix with dark chocolate, 70% or higher, to create a delicious and healthy dessert. Speaking of satiety and healthy fats, let's move on to a creamy and delicious food that contains the same GPS vitamin found in kale, vitamin K2, but in an even more powerful form for your bones. Many people think it causes weight gain, but when chosen wisely, it's a true superfood. Let's talk about fifth food, cheese. Yes, cheese can absolutely be part of a healthy diet. It's an excellent source of fats and fat-soluble vitamins such as A, E, D, and especially K2, which is crucial for directing calcium into your bones and teeth. It also provides fatty acids and proteins that boost satiety, improve focus, and support brain function. Whenever possible, go for cheese made from grass-fed cow or goat milk. I recommend aged and higher-fat varieties such as cheddar, camembert, brie, goat cheese, buffalo mozzarella, and parmesan. But here's the thing. It doesn't make sense to load your body with all these nutrients if it's clogged with toxins. That's where the next group of foods comes in. They work like your liver's personal detox team, helping flush out toxins and reducing insulin resistance. I'm talking about fourth food, cauliflower and cruciferous vegetables. To truly optimize health and weight loss, it's essential to include cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, arugula, and cabbage in your diet. Think of these veggies as your body's detox crew. They're rich in phytochemicals like sulforaphane, which helps your liver process and eliminate toxins much more efficiently. They're also loaded with minerals like potassium and magnesium, which are vital for lowering insulin resistance, a condition that makes fat burning harder. And once your liver is cleaner, we can focus on another key engine of your metabolism, the thyroid. Our next food group is an overlooked treasure, packed with the exact minerals your thyroid needs, iodine and selenium, to function at full power. Let's dive into third food, seafood. Here's a food group that's often forgotten, but is truly a nutritional gem. Shrimp, oysters, mussels, and squid. They're pure protein with zero carbs, but what makes them stand out is their mineral density. Oysters, for example, are the richest food source of zinc, which is essential for immunity. Other types of seafood are excellent sources of iodine and selenium, both crucial for thyroid health. And now that we've nourished the body and vital organs, it's time for the finishing touch. The next items on our list aren't meals by themselves, but rather antioxidant pills you can add to almost anything you eat, boosting all the benefits we've discussed while repairing your body at a cellular level. Let's talk about second food, fresh herbs and spices. If you want to upgrade your weight loss results, make fresh chopped herbs your best friends. I'm talking about mint, basil, parsley, oregano, cilantro, rosemary, and thyme. They contain no starch, but are loaded with antioxidants and phytonutrients that help stabilize blood sugar and optimize your goals. And don't forget the spices. Turmeric, cinnamon, black pepper, and ginger are some of nature's most powerful healers. They work to repair your liver, pancreas, and digestive system. And with your whole body primed and ready, we've arrived at our surprising number one, the food I promised you at the very beginning. It's delicious, versatile, affordable, and has been unfairly demonized for years. But modern science, and even the wisdom of our grandmothers, proves it's a true secret for energy and health. The number one food is, first food, zero carbs or sugars, pork. And we've reached our surprising number one, a delicious, versatile, and much more affordable food that has been unfairly criticized, pork. But isn't pork too fatty and bad for you? Forget that. A pork loin can be as lean as a chicken breast, and the fat it does have, it's rich in monounsaturated fats, the same healthy type found in olive oil. No wonder our grandparents cooked with lard, a natural, stable fat far superior to soybean or corn oils. Pork is an amazing source of high-quality protein and one of the richest sources of thiamine, vitamin B1, which is crucial for energy metabolism. Go for cuts like pork loin, tenderloin, or chops, and don't be afraid of the natural fat in these cuts. Just avoid processed meats loaded with sugar and nitrites like hams. Oh, and before you ask about chicken in the comments, yes, chicken is great, but in today's list, I wanted to focus on foods that are real powerhouses of specific nutrients and that break old nutrition myths. Chicken is solid and reliable, but these 12 are the superheroes that give you extra powers. That's it. As you can see, nature offers us an incredible variety of delicious and nutritious foods that don't rely on carbs or sugars. By focusing on these 12 foods, you not only make weight loss easier, but also provide your cells with the nutrients they need to reduce inflammation, repair themselves, and function at their peak. Remember, the secret isn't starving yourself. It's choosing the right foods, and especially the right combinations. Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to like and share so more people can get this knowledge, and always check with your doctor to make informed choices. Want to keep learning about health? Check out these other videos on our channel, Your Liver is Dying. 13. Strange signs of liver damage. You need to know. And if you ate raw onions, watch this. Even just one can trigger an irreversible reaction. Thank you for staying with me until the end. May we all be blessed with health and life. Let's work together to protect our well-being. See you in the next video. Thank you so much.